Hi, everybody. Just tuning in for the verdict on liability in the Zachary Young versus CNN case. So the jury has been deliberating for over 8 hours on this, about 8.5 hours since yesterday afternoon.
To publish a verdict.
In the Circuit Court of the 14th Judicial Circuit in Fort Bay County, Florida, case number 22-608CA, Zachary Young plaintiff versus Cable News Network Inc. defendant. Verdict form number 1. Do you find by the greater weight of the evidence that defendant CNN committed defamation per se against plaintiff Zachary Young? Yes. Number 2, do you find by the greater weight of the evidence that defendant CNN committed defamation by implication against plaintiff Zachary Young? Yes. Number 3, what is the total amount of plaintiff Zachary Young's damages for both lost earnings in the past and for the loss of his earning capacity in the future, reduced by the amount that plaintiff could have earned from comparable employment? $4 million. Number 4, what is the total amount of plaintiff Zachary Young's damages for pain and suffering, mental anguish, inconvenience, injury to reputation, and loss of capacity for the enjoyment of life that he sustained in the past and that he has sustained for the future? $1 million. Number 5, do you find by clear and convincing evidence that punitive damages are warranted against defendant CNN? Yes. Date, January 17, 2025, signed by the foreperson.
Okay, yeah. All right. Juror 6, I take it since you were holding the verdict, were you the foreperson for the jury? Is that your jury's verdict?
Yes, it is.
All right. All right. Anything from the plaintiff?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Anything from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right. Jurors, based upon that verdict, what that means is we need to proceed to phase 2 of the trial in this case. I didn't print them out, but let me pull them up real quick.
I think I was supposed to stand up.
No, you're fine. You're good. All right. I've got some more instructions to give to you, and what we'll do is just based on the time at this point, we'll move into phase 2. We'll get some lunch brought in to allow you to take a break, have some lunch at the appropriate time when it gets here. But we'll start with the presentation of some of the evidence and testimony to you until that point in time. Okay. Are y'all good with that? All right. And I know since there was a restroom and stuff back there, y'all don't need a break or anything right at the moment, do you?
No, sir, but could we close the blind?
Again?
Just the front one.
Yeah, just front one is, that's okay.
Hi, Sue.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the bailiff go grab you. Are your notepads laying out there, or are they in the folders,
I
or?
think we left them all in there. They're laying out on the table.
Hi, Dawn.
Yeah, why don't y'all want to go back there and go grab your notes? I don't want the bailiff
I'll
look at
recap
whatever
what's
your notes
going
may
on
be or
here.
anything.
I can grab them.
It's pretty much what I
Okay, if you want to
expected.
do that, that'd be fine. Yeah, I'd rather just not have somebody that's outside the jury going and
I'm
grabbing
going
notes
to
that are
go over
not
it again
contained
here,
in your
Sue, in a
folders.
second.
All right.
So the jury did return a verdict after hearing from, well, let me see what he's going to say here. Hold on. I will get to it. Hi, Kat. Good morning. All right. The jury did return a verdict after about 8.5 hours of deliberation. They had deliberated last night, Eastern time, till about, I'd say about 10 o'clock before they left for the day. They returned this morning and just returned a verdict. Yesterday's testimony was by Adam Levine. I just wanted to
And I guess real
give
quick,
you this.
since I forgot to ask this question beforehand, After I'd resolved the jury instruction issues last night, I think it was. I don't know. It's all blended together at this point. And the set that I had emailed to y'all, I think it was last night after we got done.
Okay, I'm gonna remove him for now, um, and mute him over here. So here's what happened. They had Adam Levine on the stand. He's like the big honcho. He was the boss of the person the architect who wrote the story, and he actually said nothing in the story was any different than what Zachary Young was already saying publicly. So he didn't have a problem with. So none of these CNN employees showed any remorse. They were not apologetic at all for Zachary Young for running the piece. Jury asked a question of Adam Levine, and they ask, you ran this disingenuous apology. How do you feel about that? And that's what he said. Nothing in, I wouldn't. Sometimes you issue apologies because there's a lawsuit going on, not because you really feel like you're apologetic, but if there's a legal reason you're doing it, which that was weird. That was very, very weird. So during the closings yesterday, the plaintiff asked the jury to send a message to news organizations that they must be held accountable. Well, we're going to get to the send a message part of the case now. So he argued that CNN painted him as a predator. They ran that banner. Instead of running the banner to say, hey, he saved 22 young women and a baby, they ran this black market banner, which implies that, he's doing something wrong. So the jury finished their deliberations. They came back. They had several findings. The first one, did you find defamation? Yes. So they do believe that Zachary Young was defamed by CNN. Do you believe that he was defamed by implication? That banner? Yes, he was. Now, here's where it gets confusing. Past and future wages, they gave him $4 million. That is not very much money. He was asking for $23 million. He got $4 million. And then an award for pain and suffering, which includes, he didn't have any actual physical harm, but he had a lot of mental health issues. So, hey, live from the epicenter of he's on a boat. I don't know what he's saying. How's the cruise, Tim? Anyway, so the total amount of an award for pain and suffering includes loss of enjoyment of life, loss of companionship with your wife. You're not as close as you used to be, those kind of things. $1 million. So $5 million is the total award for damages. Then the last question that was asked the jury was, is this plaintiff, you're in Mexico? Okay. Is this plaintiff entitled to punitive damages? Yes. So now they're going to go into the next phase of the trial. So what he did was he's sending the jury back to get their notebooks, come back out, and then each side will do an opening statement. And I will cover that for you in tomorrow's episode. But what that means is now we're going to find out the net worth of CNN. What are they worth today? And I got to tell you, these news networks, they're struggling. They're on the struggle bus. So I don't know how much their net worth is really going to pan out to show. But this will be the jury's opportunity to give an award that will punish CNN for doing what they did. And I believe he may be entitled to 3 times the damages. There's a clause in there that it's legally, it's hard to get into why that is. They're probably worth about $50. Okay, well, you get it, Zachary Young. You get the $50. A day in Progreso in Yucatan, Carrie sent me a pic of her laying on a beach chair in the sand by the ocean. Oh, I've still got snow outside, Tim. Oh my God. I tried to walk the dog yesterday. It was impossible. Absolutely impossible because places where you think there isn't ice, there's ice. It's black ice. It's just frozen over. It's horrible. I was just praying I got back to the house safely. I only slipped once. So we're not doing that today, but it should be a nice warm day again, and we'll get some more of that snow melted. I can't say that I'll be sitting out on the lawn in a lawn chair basking in the sun with a cocktail like Carrie, but I'm jealous. Anyway, so I need to do my other show for the day 2 of the Natalie Cochran trial. This is a really interesting one, guys, but I am going to keep on top of this one because I'm curious, what is CNN worth? Yeah. And this right now, the onus switches over. I don't know if the plaintiff starts or the defense starts. I don't remember which it is, but they'll both put on experts that have looked at the books and say, here's what they're worth. And they're not going to agree, and the jury will find something in between there. More cold coming in. I know. It's freezing out there. Holy moly. But I'm nice and warm in my craft room. I got a blanket. I think Yvonne made this one for my sister. My sister has so many blankets now, guys. Wow. But Yvonne made this one. Little paw prints. Anyway, I confiscated it. It's in my lap. The one Joanna gave me for my lap is in my bed. I actually lay on that. I turn it on at night and lay on that. It's so comfortable to be in a nice, warm, cozy bed. Rather be here than California. Well, yeah. Okay. Oh, so Tim sent me a photo to show you guys. I hope he's going to allow me to show you this photo. Oh, why not? This is Tim. Hey, Tim. Everybody wave to Tim. He's got his, who is that hat? What is that hat character? I don't even know. I'm not a huge Disney aficionado. Is that Lilo or Stitch, or who is that? Is it Stitch? Anyway, we know that's Tim. How funny. You know, his ARC character, he looks exactly like his ARC character. I don't know how he got the ARC character so accurate, but he looks just like him. I love the hat. And he's smiling, so they must be having a great vacation. That's good. I'm happy for them. All right, guys, any questions? Let's see where they're at. He is probably giving them jury instructions about what they're doing next. Like, here's what he's ordered lunch for them because, it's already lunchtime. It's already 12:30 Eastern time. So he's ordering lunch for them. And because there was a restaurant they wanted to try last night, but it was already closed. And it was one the judge had been bragging about. So I think he's getting them lunch from that place. Anyway, so they'll go on to the punitive damage phase. I don't know what Grogu. That's his name, Grogu? Who's that? Who's Grogu? That's a movie I haven't seen, apparently. It looks like, what do I know? Tim, does your wife make you wear that hat? Okay. All right. Very funny. Any questions? Any comments? If you're watching this back on the replay, this is the episode for today. You've got the verdict right out of the bat. And we'll be waiting to hear what the net worth is before the jury decides punitive damages. So I'll bring all that for you when it happens. Otherwise, Yoda. Why did he say Grogu? His name is Yoda. Is that Yoda? No, it's not Yoda either, is it? Who is that? I thought it's Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. No, am I wrong? Okay. Leave me a comment. Let me know if I'm wrong. Oh my gosh. What are you guys doing today? I haven't talked to you guys in forever. It's Friday. They also call him Baby Yoda from the men. Oh, he is from the. This is why I don't know who it is. It's from Star Wars, Baby Yoda. Okay. Grogu, Baby Yoda. Got it. What am I? Lilo and Stitch. See, I don't know. I would be lost on a Disney cruise. I don't know these characters. I know Cinderella, Snow White, Ariel. There's an Ariel, the mermaid lady. Who else? These are all that I know. If you ask me a Taylor Swift question, I can answer it, but not Disney. Mm-mm. Even though they're kind of related. Stitch is blue. Sue has grandkids. She knows these things. Mm-hmm. My grandkids are old, so older than hers. At least Stitch and Grogu are from the same company. Oh, well, Disney, right? Anyway. Oh my. I haven't finished my first cup of coffee, you guys. I can bring this back in if you want to listen to it. I don't know that you do. Let's see what's going on here. I think he's reading the jury instructions. Let me catch it up.
Greater weight of the evidence means the more persuasive and convincing force and effect of the entire evidence in the case. You are to decide the amount of punitive damages, if any, to be assessed as punishment against the defendant. This amount would be in addition to the compensatory damages you have previously awarded.
He loves that.
In making this determination, you should consider the following. A, the nature, extent, and degree of misconduct and the related circumstances,
Hey, Carrie.
including the following. 1, whether the wrongful conduct was motivated solely by unreasonable financial gain. 2, whether the unreasonably dangerous nature of the conduct, together with the high likelihood of injury resulting from the conduct, was actually known by the defendant. 3, whether at the time of the loss, injury, or damage, the defendant had a specific intent to harm plaintiff, and the conduct of defendant did in fact harm plaintiff. And B, the financial resources of the defendant. However, you may not award an amount that would financially destroy the defendant. You may, in your discretion, decline to assess punitive damages.
Ooh.
When
I didn't know
determining the
they could
amount,
decline.
if any, of punitive damages to be awarded, you may impose punitive damages to punish the defendant only for the specific conduct that you have concluded caused plaintiff harm. You may not award punitive damages to punish the defendant for anything other than the conduct that injured plaintiff.
I do, Carrie.
That is
right.
the law that you must follow in deciding the second phase of the case. In a moment, the attorneys will make brief opening statements to you, and then we'll call witnesses. When they are through, I will have a few final instructions about your deliberations. And like before, you're going to get a written set of these instructions to go back to you. All right. So, Mr. Friedman, you want to do a brief opening?
Mr. Rush will
All
handle
right,
it.
Mr. Rush? Okay.
Okay, so I'm not going to cover these. These can get quite boring. So I'll listen to them on fast forward, give you the skinny on it tomorrow morning. And although they may get back to the jury for deliberations by tonight, this is a very quick part of the trial. So they'll do brief openings, they'll put on their witnesses. It may get to the jury by this evening for them to deliberate again on punitive damages. But as far as what he just said, did CNN offer? They did not ever make him an offer, Dawn. I thought surely they did, but they never did make him an offer. I think they believe pretty strongly that what they said was factual. Yes, that's true. What you said was factual, but by implication, by running that banner over the entire story, you destroyed this man's career. Now, did they do it on purpose? I'm going to say yes, because how many times did that reporter say he wanted to nail this defendant? I want to nail that MFer, that's pretty intentional to me. We're going to nail him. We're going to take him down. Yeah. Well, they did. I think it was intentional. Yeah. And they knew, I don't know that they knew. I have to believe that they knew it was going to cause him harm. I don't think they wanted him out there charging these amounts, but they never got the full story from him. They never, even when they got it, they didn't run it. It could have been such a much better story if they had the full story. Who did you get out of Afghanistan? How'd you do? You know, that would have been a fascinating story. How did you get these women out? How come you didn't get the men out? Like, that would have been a really good story if they had actually sat down with Zachary Young and interviewed him and vetted him like any other person you should as a reporter. But that's just my opinion. Okay. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Don't look forward to, I'm going to record now the day 2 of the Natalie Cochran trial. Did she murder her husband to cover up her Ponzi scheme? Lots of layers to this one. See you there. Bye, everybody. Take care.